he's so official right now with his little microphone that he's just got it just barely touching your fucking lips every time you get close to it. Hey, now we're back to the early morning news station. We're back again with John, Doug, and Cody. I'm your host, Cody. Reading Rainbow. Let's go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Outspoken Gents podcast. What's going on, fellas?
Hey.
What's up?
Sounds great.
Yeah, it does. I got a new microphone this week, guys. It looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. Guy looks like the fucking Terminator right now.
Yeah, I do. I got this articulating.
You look like you got a big black cock you ready to suck.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not it.
John.
Can you go ahead and keep that a fist away from your mouth, please?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll keep it I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little too close, but
okay. Just try to keep it at a fist.
I just like to lick the fist sometimes.
So how's your guys' week? I hear Johnny is joining the land of Tejas, moving to Houston.
Are you really?
Congratulations. He's there right now.
Back at it again.
So you're actually moving to Texas?
He moved. He's there.
Oh,
he's
shit.
here.
I have an apartment. I still have an apartment in Florida. So I mean, I have that lease up in I think March. My sister's taking care of it right now with our dog. So,
but you just signed a new lease for it?
No. Well, no. I mean, I signed a new lease for it back in March. Yeah, but well, I mean, you have to sign your lease in like January, bro. It's one of those things you have to do like 3 months. You have to do it like 3 months in advance. Otherwise, they tell you that. Come on, don't fuck with me. Anyways, so yeah, I had a lease and I got
starting early.
And I got a job. Now. I'll be making plenty of money, and I'll be able to maintain both of them. Truthfully, the military gives me enough money to where I don't even need to fucking do anything. I can just keep up for that.
You got lucky, and they fucked up your knee so many times.
Oh my God, bro! Twice they fucked it up. Lucky me, right?
One of the lucky ones.
D-Rose flashbacks.
Shut up, man. You're a Brooklyn fan. You don't get to talk about D-Rose ever again.
No, I don't want to.
Ever again. You bandwagon and SOB. Now you're going to start saying things like, Kevin Durant's going to come back fine. He's going to come back better than ever. Go Nets.
He's going to come back in a wheelchair.
Kyrie Irving's better than D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, he is.
He's not.
It's debatable.
What? Get the fuck out. Shut up. Both of you.
You're going to turn away a 23-year-old kid who literally just had a career year for somebody who has a borderline personality disorder?
Are you fucking crazy right now?
No, I'm perfectly sane. I'm perfectly sane and level-headed. I would rather have D'Angelo Russell on my team to build with, especially with a Kevin Durant type figure, than Kyrie Irving. There, I said it.
That's the thing though. They're not building. They're ready to win fucking now. We don't need to win in 3. Yes,
well,
they
not
are.
Going to win this year.
They're not going to win this year.
Durant probably isn't going to come back.
He's not playing next year.
He's not going to play next year.
Period.
That's not.
Even if they make the playoffs.
Within 4 years, the Brooklyn Nets are probably going to have 2 titles.
Within 4 years, what's his name? Who is the other? DeAndre Jordan is going to have, Dwight Howard syndrome, which he's already falling into, and fall off the face of the planet until you hear him on Pardon My Take sometime 3 years later, and you're like, wait, you're still playing basketball, man? He is.
Zion is going to be so well established in 4 years that you're not even going to be hearing about Durant any fucking more, bro.
Yeah.
We're not going to be talking about the Nets in 4 years. I promise you that.
We will, because Kevin Durant's on. Kevin Durant's the best player in the NBA right now. So we will be talking about the Nets.
I don't think he's the best player.
No, he's not the best player right now. No, James Harden.
Who's the best player?
James Harden can't
play defense. So
James Harden's the best player in the league.
James Harden is the nastiest dude ever.
Next, because he can't play defense. You're not the best player in the NBA if you can't play defense. Period.
Who's the best player in the NBA then, John? Or Doug? You think Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant and LeBron James are the best players in the NBA. And then it's Kawhi. And then there's kind of a cliff.
I would have to say Kawhi is the best player in the NBA.
You could make a case for that, absolutely.
Because if you want to talk about playing defense, nobody plays better defense than Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And he can score.
Let's
But
not
to be
forget
the
he got.
best NBA player, you have to be an all-around player.
You have to
can't just be a
will
fucking
teams
shooter.
to championships over dream teams like the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat. Kawhi's
Right.
done that.
And the Golden State Warriors probably would have won this year if Kevin Durant was healthy. No.
Hey, let's be honest though. This isn't the '90s. You don't have to play defense anymore to be a fucking good player or
That's
the best
not
player
true.
in the league. Yes, it is.
They just established
Defense
that this
means
year
nothing.
that you have
Defense
to.
means nothing.
Oh my god, I can't
Defense.
handle this right now.
Defense
just won. Defense just won a championship. So
hey, man, Uncle Drew said it best. This game is all about buckets, baby.
That's it.
Truthfully, like, yeah, how Steph all the fucking time is compared to fucking LeBron. Steph is not that great at fucking defense at all.
Steph's not bad at defense, but he's not good at defense.
Who the fuck compared Steph Curry to LeBron James?
Nobody compares Steph
all the time. Every time you get on one of those fucking ESPN shows, yeah, I hear it all the time. Who's the most? Who should be the MVP of this year? Who should be this? Blah blah blah. And they always compare.
Yeah, we forgot about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I can't forget
MVP of the year.
But he can't. He's not a shooter,
and he deserved it. And he fucking deserved it.
He's a silky smooth 7-footer.
He deserved it way over Harden, and I'm a Harden fan.
1 Euro step from the 3-point line, and he's dunking the basketball in people's faces.
Right, but he's not a shooter. You have to do it all to be the best NBA player. You literally have to do it all, and the people that can do it all right now are LeBron James,
Leonard,
Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard. Name another all-around player that can literally do it all.
I don't think you can put Kevin Durant in that.
Yeah.
In that area. I don't think he plays defense like that.
He does, though. They were saying if with him in the game and his length, that his defense would have helped.
His length is a matchup thing. His actual defense, I don't know, is really all that to write home about. I think he just makes up for it so much because he's an assassin. He's an assassin beyond the 3-point line. And so I think that's how he makes up for a lot of those defensive efficiencies. But
blocks,
I don't know.
Steals.
I would have to look it up.
On him.
I don't think any of that's true. I would have to look it up.
Because I'm pretty sure he averages about 2 to 3 blocks a game.
I think that's
that was
high.
His average.
Why don't you go ahead and Google that and get back
to
me.
Your top 5 guys in defensive efficiency are R.J. Hunter, Giannis, Paul George, Joe Ingles, and Donovan Mitchell.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
defense efficiency is exactly what we're talking about.
We're talking about best NBA players. So we're talking about
right. So that top 5, if you're the best player in the NBA, you should be top 5 in both categories. And the only person that's top 5 in both categories is Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Interesting.
Those other guys, the other guys that you guys mentioned, aren't even in the top fucking 30.
Wow. That's very interesting. It does go to
dunk on you, Doug.
I'm not doubting the fact that Giannis is a great NBA player.
Splash Bros.
Yeah, but I don't think that fucking. He can't shoot. He's not a shooter.
Wow. Durant's 37th. LeBron is 40th, and Kawhi is 50th.
Whoa.
Defense.
Oh, okay. So
Steph Curry and JJ Redick are higher at 16 and 17.
All right, guys. So where's your fucking arguments about this? Because you guys just said that the best defensive
Chris Paul
player,
is number 8.
The best defensive player is probably fucking Kawhi. But
yeah, I think Giannis is the best player in the NBA. Yeah, he's got to be.
Why would he? Obviously, he is. He got MVP of the year. That's why
I think
they don't give it to
we're going right now.
Yeah.
So this year, let's see, Durant averaged 1.1 blocks a game and 0.7 steals a game.
Even your player impact estimate, those guys aren't even in the top 10 at all. I can't believe this. This is crazy.
Okay, so then who's your guys' best player then?
That's
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James are my top 3.
I think he's throwing Kyrie and Durant.
I'm Harden, Giannis,
Kyrie, and Durant.
Kawhi.
I mean,
So LeBron James isn't one of the best players in the NBA.
I don't care. I don't want to hear that guy's name. I don't care about that guy. Let him sit at the fucking Lakers where he fucking belongs, because he needs to sit there with fucking Magic underneath Magic Johnson's arm all day long.
Magic is gone.
Yeah, Magic doesn't work for the Lakers
Magic
anymore.
resigned.
Swear. That's news to me.
Yeah, no, Magic.
That's
So
kind
Magic.
of actually.
Wow,
Yeah, Magic.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Magic resigned about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was a surprise to everybody. He did it like the night before the NBA Finals. And then he went on to call
You know what?
the other Lakers. He called the Lakers president of basketball operations, Rob Pelinka. He called him a backstabber and a bunch of other things. But now he's actually been called in to recruit Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers, and that seems to be a trending destination for Kawhi.
Yeah, but this is all old news.
To
Except
team
for
up
the
with
Kawhi part of it.
LeBron, AD, and Kawhi.
I think Kawhi will be on the Lakers.
I think so too.
I don't.
I
I would
think-
actually bet money. I'd bet money.
He had the city following him around in Toronto.
Kawhi does not give a flying fuck about that country.
There's more money in LA for all of those guys
That he could
than
even fathom.
they
Would
will
he make
ever
more
be in
money in
Toronto.
LA than he would in Toronto?
Yeah.
Do you understand how many celebrities back that team? Like, it's insane when you go. If you go to a
I'm not
Lakers
talking
game,
about that. I'm talking.
I get that,
about
but
state
the
income
the
tax.
amount of endorsements and all that other shit, they're gonna make
Yeah.
so much money. The Lakers kill
Hollywood,
it.
Hollywood really like makes even
Okay, talk
the
about a
B
guy who doesn't
players.
care about that stuff, though.
Yeah, but he wanted to go to LA and then fucking pop trade
He
him
wants to make
Toronto.
he wants to make
He
his
actually wants to go
Kawhi.
to the Clippers. He doesn't want to go anywhere else.
I don't think that's true.
He doesn't.
I
want to
think
go to
he
the
wants
Lakers.
to be. I think it doesn't matter what team he's on. He wants to be in LA because he wants to grow his brand into a worldwide brand. And there's only two places to do that. There's New York and there's LA.
Well, he's not very far from New York and Toronto.
Okay, well, it's still far enough away.
Toronto's a pretty big fucking city for a lot of that shit. So
I'm not saying it's not. LA's bigger, and you know it is. Like California's bigger. I mean,
Everybody wants to go to
there's
LA.
more popularity. There's more opportunities for, whether it's regular old endorsements or full-blown movies, or, he wants to start a comic book series or a podcast or monetize this or monetize that or open a storefront. You do it in LA because you can charge
he doesn't even
$200.
have his own brand right now because
Yes,
he
he-
left Nike.
As of this morning, LeBron James reportedly addressed any concerns Kawhi had about their fit together, and then Kawhi just landed in Toronto. So he's probably going
Yeah,
to
and then he
Toronto.
was followed by a helicopter, and then there was a crowd of people outside of the hotel that reportedly Kawhi was meeting with the Raptors.
I don't think
I'm
that
sorry.
the Raptors have enough money to go up against Lakers right now.
Mm.
And I think
The
I mean,
Raptors
the
can
Lakers
pay
don't
him
have a
more.
roster.
No, the Raptors
The
can
Lakers don't
definitely
have a
pay
fucking
him
roster.
more.
You think so?
The Lakers have $32 million.
Well, I guess- Yeah, I guess
They
I
have
guess
$32 million
they have to pay LeBron.
in available cap space, and you have to give that guy a max deal. So you're giving him $30+ million a year. So I mean, really, the most you can offer him is $120 million.
Okay,
That is
you're right.
nowhere. There,
But does Kawhi play for money or does he play to win?
James Harden is making $100 million more than that. Russell Westbrook is making $100 million more than that. So I mean, I don't know what the maxes are on the type of contract he can command, but I think all said and done, he would make more money in LA growing his brand there than he would in Toronto chasing another title. My opinion, because I do think if you combine those three assets, you do have a title. You have a title contending roster for at least the next 2 years. Jumping back into that really quick, I mean, there's really, I think some of the money that was passed around, and John and I talked about this on the weekend. Some of the money that was passed around was just outrageous. Like, I don't know what Chris Middleton did to get a $180 million contract, but good luck to that guy,
Those are bad contracts.
There was a couple
pushing out those like freaking. They're pushing out those contracts like they're nothing.
They're handing them out. I mean, Bill Simmons was saying like this is generational wealth that they're handing out to these guys. You know, some guy named Chris Middleton gets, he was a 2nd round pick. He gets $181 million. I mean, I get it. Money's getting handed out, but I mean, could you go get somebody for? I mean, when Durant's signing for $141 million or something like that, or Kyrie signed for $140 million, like you got to assume some of these guys can get, more money if they go to some of these places.
I just can't believe the Knicks didn't do anything.
Nada.
Dude, people are so upset. Like in the
it was
elevators.
They tried to do something.
Dude.
It was
so mad.
It was the only time I listened to. I wanted to hear what Stephen A. had to say about it, man. And his little rant
so upset
was perfect. They're done. The shine, like the shine of coming to the Garden and playing, for the New York Knicks is gone. They've drove it all the way into the ground. I was like, well, that's an interesting take there, but it is true.
Right now.
If they would have got Zion and AD, that would have made their fucking.
Can we talk about the Pelicans just for 1 second, okay? These are the same guys that when the Lakers tried to trade New Orleans for Chris Paul like 6 years ago or something like that. Do you remember when that happened? It was like Kobe's waning years or something like that. They were trying to get Chris Paul, and the league blocked the trade because New Orleans was not technically owned. It didn't have an ownership at the time. They just had like they were owned by the NBA basically.
It's like a group.
As a group or something like that, and somebody came in and blocked that trade, and now all of a sudden, and it was basically to keep New Orleans competitive, which they haven't been. And now all of a sudden they have, basically the pick of the litter of good young prospects, a first overall pick, plus 3 first-round picks from a team. Man, quite honestly, if 1 or 2 of those guys goes down, they are shit out of luck. And those are going to be top, 4 or 5 picks every single year.
Well, they actually changed the way the lottery system works for them now. It's more like the NHL lottery where, the top, it's more, evenly spaced, so it prevents from tanking. So they can't tank as bad anymore and almost guarantee that they have a first round pick.
But man, if anybody thinks for 1 second that it's not messed around with or tinkered with, I'm not going to say fixed, but if you think for 1 second it's not tinkered around with based on the prospects that are available, I think you're crazy. Okay, because honestly,
why would they do that? Because then Zion would have been great going to the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying.
For NBA.
That's what I'm saying.
Guys, I'm excited. I have a 9:50 tee time tomorrow.
Oh, you're going golfing? Are you getting into it? Are you going to get into it?
And I have a golf tournament at the end of the month.
I was thinking about getting into it again, man.
Fun.
Yeah. Have you been golfing often?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like the 3rd time in the last 2.5 weeks.
Oh. Whoa! So things are getting pretty serious.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Got the money.
I've been working on my irons and fucking dude, I can drive the ball fucking 300 plus yards. So
I've never been golfing
my
before.
irons.
Yeah, that's a travesty, John.
It's fun, dude.
It's a gentleman's game for gentlemen.
Going around the fucking course.
Yeah.
Watching friends get upset because they keep slicing the ball and then they break their 7-iron or their pitching wedge over their fucking knee. It's great.
Yeah.
Watching, dude, I saw a guy. He tried to hit. It was a par 3. It was 160 yards. He tried to fucking tee off with his pitching wedge.
Oh,
and
buddy.
This motherfucker hit the green. He hit the green, but broke the head off of his fucking pitching wedge.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. See, so I always hit my pitching wedge really well, so I could imagine myself doing something along the same lines on the same kind of hole, because I knew how to hit my pitching wedge like a professional.
But a pitching
Like I
wedge
could
is
hit
at
it
max
up,
supposed to go like
down.
100, 120 yards.
Oh, 100. I absolutely know that. I'm just
But
saying.
160 yards, I was like, dude, you're fucking high. Like, just bring out your 7, bring out your 9, and let's fucking
I
do
was
this.
always really good with my short clubs because I could stay compact and I didn't. There's almost less body movement with your short clubs to hit a good shot. I was always terrible with longer clubs, woods, and drivers because I was just so long that I ended up contorting myself in like the wrong way every time. Still to this day.
Johnny looks so pissed off that we're talking about golfing.
Yeah, right.
You've
Fuck
never
golf.
been golfing then? Why?
Huh?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I live in the fucking place that like they have golf fucking everywhere. I literally live in like it's PGA. Like I live right off of PGA, so I get it. Like I live 2 minutes from the Trump golf course. It's just I listen about golf all day, but it's even there, bro. Like, I mean, and people play all fucking day. People play all goddamn day. I get invited to these games all the time. I get out there, and like 1 minute everybody's having a good time. The next minute, people are throwing golf clubs in the fucking water. People are just screaming at shit. People are just smashing their fucking golf clubs on the ground. And I'm out there with like a Renner set.
Yeah.
So?
And I'm like, we're not playing the game then, right? That guy just broke 2 clubs now in the last 45 minutes. We're not playing this game anymore, right? We're done?
Yeah.
Nah, he's got a whole nother setup. I promise you. It's like, why? Obviously, he's not that
For
good
that
at
reason.
breaking everything. Like, I'm not watching baseball players smash bats on the fucking ground because they sucked at the fucking, the batting cage.
You see that. You
What are
see
you
that all
talking
the
about?
time.
Baseball
They're not
players
busting
get
a
super
fucking
pissed off.
aluminum bat off their fucking knee. I
First of all,
promise
they
you
don't play with
that.
aluminum bats. They play with
Yeah.
wooden bats, and they do that all the fucking time.
Yeah.
They break it over their
Okay,
fucking
but I'm talking
heads.
about going to the batting cage. Do you still play with a wooden bat?
You still go to the batting cages?
Every once in a while, it's fun to hit a couple balls off.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You ever I've taken a girl on a date to the batting cages before.
I do enjoy. You know what? Up your game, Johnny. Start taking them to the driving range, and I'm not talking about Topgolf. Take them to the real driving range so you can get some work in.
I take them to
and help them out at the same time.
No. I take them to one of those go-kart things, and I just rear end them the whole time. I give them an idea about what's about to happen for the night, if you know what I'm saying. Bumper to bumper. I give her that bumper to bumper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing golf. I don't got time. But I had dated this one girl who was like insanely good at golf, and I remember she took me out, and I sat there, I watched her hit the ball, and I looked out, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do this. There's no fucking way. I'm not gonna fucking do this." She's like, "I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a birdie on this first one." I said, "Okay." I hit the ball way off, and I said, "Okay, maybe it's just this one. Maybe I'm a little rusty. I'll get back into it."
Yeah.
We keep going. We're going to the next hole. Birdies again. And I was like, maybe this is my fucking sport, And then I'm out there, and I want to bust up my fucking clubs, but I got this Renner clubs, and she's over there with the professional,
Yeah.
No, it kind of ruined my whole. Once you lose to a girl real bad, it doesn't make you want to play that sport anymore. Like tennis was another sport I should not play again.
Yeah, no, I'm good on tennis. I'm good on cycling. I could probably play golf though. I could probably pick up golf. I think I wouldn't be good at it, but I'd be all right. I could go play with the guys and not embarrass myself.
Saturdays for the boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So no, I get that. I get all that. I'd be down to just go hang out.
So Doug, is this just a hobby, or do you think you could take this, cycle it into like a senior tour career?
No.
No?
It's just a hobby right now.
You're not that good? You don't think you have natural skill and talent? You've played a lot of stick sports, so I feel like your hand-eye coordination compared to a small ball is probably going to be pretty good.
You just wait.
Can you learn? It's just can you learn the different techniques?
It's
the
consistency, like hitting the ball the same way every single time. Just like when you go bowling, the best bowlers are the ones that try and throw the ball the most consistent every time. And that's the only issue I have is like my consistency. And 18 holes is a fucking lot, dude. Once you get to that back 9, you're fucking starting to wear out and get tired, and then your mechanics get bad, and then it's like, fuck. fuck, dude. Like, let me see if I can compensate with my long drives for my short game.
You wait until your grandmother's house is up for auction. You got to win a tournament to save it.
She shouldn't have been there. Hit that lady. Well, she shouldn't have been standing there.
Yeah.
There's actually a buddy of mine, and his dad plays golf.
I eat shits like you for breakfast.
In Florida.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
Yeah. Can somebody go check on the Vista lady? Somebody get me out of here. Oh man, that's a good one.
Oh
good
shit!
One.
Double nothing. You won't do it again.
Oh, Happy Gilmore. That's hilarious.
Damn it!
What are you talking about? Girls with no bras.
Oh my!
They know
God.
what they are doing.
I don't know if this is gonna get cut out or not, but New York City, there are so many girls that they don't wear any bras. And like these faint, I get it, but they're like these faint white T-shirts, and they're just walking around practically with their boobs hanging out, like free-spirited. It's crazy.
I had an ex-girlfriend who thought that was like an okay thing. She didn't have big titties or anything. You know, she just had normal, couple of them. But yeah, no, I don't get it. Like girls with like smaller titties, and who cares? And who cares? Because like girls will come up on here and they'll be like, who cares what like a man thinks about what we wear? It's not even that. It's just like it gets to a certain point where you're like, all right, you're in fucking public now, and I get that it's just a fucking, it's a part of your body, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. Some of these girls don't need to be wearing these like see-through things with their fucking areolas as big as fucking Kansas, I don't need to see, man, it looks like you got a black eye in your tit area. Why is your one areola black on that side, but over here you got like a nice cream color? Like it doesn't make any sense.
She's been breastfeeding, bro.
And it was one in particular. I was in the back of my van, and I got out. I put my trays outside. I was getting ready to go into the hospital.
Breastfeeding changes the colors of your areolas. If you didn't know that, Johnny.
Just a fun fact.
Switch out your tits. You can just throw them on the other one for fucking.
So John, you set down your trays outside, and then what happened?
Yeah, so I was walking out. I was walking back into the hospital, and this beautiful Asian walked past me, and she was just in jean short shorts and just like a Victoria's Secret bra, no shirt on, no nothing, just walking, strutting like she was fucking going to get a bagel and a coffee. I'm like, what? Don't get me wrong, I love it, but what are you doing? Because what are you thinking?
Yeah. Hey, little
Bro,
13-year-old Jesse over here is having a fucking hard on. We're at Starbucks right now. Let him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude, it was Pride Month, man. Let him wear it.
I get it.
That was probably a dude.
Well, if that's the case, then I might be gay right now. So.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I tell you what. You start walking around. If you're a shirtless dude and you're walking around New York, you're gonna get some fucking heads regardless. A fucking woman alone. I've seen so many like feminist or activist women that are just they go out there and they do this whole like naked strut, and I'm like, who are you doing this for? Is it for you? Is it? Is that what's going on right now?
Which is where it gets tricky because they say that they dress like that because they want to feel sexy for themselves, which is fine. But you can't do that without drawing attention. So don't give an awkward look when a bum is on the right side of you and he fucking stares you down until you turn.
This would be a good conversation to have like a woman on here to talk about.
Yeah, I agree.
This is four guys just downplaying what women want to do.
Where do you want to go to next, Johnny?
What are you talking about? Because I think the picture trick, I think we all have something in here that talks about, what.
So here's the deal with the whole picture trick thing. And I don't know if you guys have seen it or heard of it, but this whole phenomenon has advanced far beyond my capabilities. Okay, so before, a picture trick was just simply like
Photoshop.
a thicker girl who took very strategically angled photos, or maybe
Yes.
like an ugly girl who took very strategically angled photos to make her online profile look like she was attractive.
We deal with it every
Okay.
day.
But then we would deal with it every day. But then as we grew, and then they would come over and they'd walk through the door and you're like, oh, okay.
I had a Tinder date like that.
Yeah, like, all right, we're gonna do that.
I had
We're
one
gonna
of
do
those back in the
that.
day, like in high school.
Yeah, I had one. Yeah, oh, absolutely. We had a bunch of them. In high school.
We all have. We've all been there.
You know what I mean?
I'm
And they would
still
always
there.
do, and they were the same girls. They were the same girls wearing the Hollister pants, the skin tight Hollister pants, or you know, what was pre-yoga pant, like that sweat pant or whatever.
It was the jeggings.
No.
Remember?
Jeggings were a thing.
No.
Jeggings is from the ghetto.
Yeah,
No, I swear to God. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I guess
jeggings is just coming out to the white population now.
Yeah.
Jeggings were that movie where the teacher tries to teach the poor black kids in Gangster's Paradise as the theme song. That's what jeggings were.
I thought jeggings were just like fucking like jean. Yeah, they're just jean leggings. They're just super tight. Like I watch girls show up to school and they're like, "Yeah, I don't have any pockets, so I gotta just stick this in my ass." Like they don't have fucking pockets anymore. I was like, where do you keep all your change? I don't. You know.
Curious change.
So
change hasn't been a thing since like the fucking 90s.
I had a pocket full of change earlier. I had to put in a fucking jar. What are you talking about? Come on. You don't go to a gas station.
Everyone's got a big bucket of change laying around.
Mine says that I need to go on vacation.
You got a
more
change
laying around. More tells me I need to go on vacation, and
you got a change dish.
It's full for a while.
You got a little dish where you keep your keys, and there's some fucking quarters and dimes and nickels in there.
I just give my change to my son.
You got fucking robbed one night.
Here, go put this in your piggy bank.
You give all your change to your son?
Pretty much.
Oh, man. If you have ever saved your change for you, you would know.
He's getting paid to live rent-free? I remember those days.
Yeah, right.
I wish I could do that.
So anyways, nowadays, the picture trick has advanced far past those capabilities, and now there's like actual apps that will, you know, like Photoshop either your face, or now there's apps that people are using to Photoshop other people's stuff, you know, and it's just getting a little bit creepy out there, you know. So I just want to let you online profilers know, Johnny and John,
Jace.
Be wary.
Yeah, no, we all know.
I don't know if you guys have any experience in the matter, or
so
I got catfish once.
I have it written down that I think social media has gone too far, and it goes back to that Black Mirror episode where the girl's trying to do everything for likes and everything is rated. Everybody was rated, and I don't know if anybody remembers this, and this is a Tinder thing, and John probably remembers that. But at one point, Tinder used to rate you on the amount of people that would, you know, think that you're attractive.
I don't remember that. That's new to me.
That was
like a quick thing they put up and they took down right away.
They took it down because of how bad it made people feel. Yeah. And every once in a while, like you'll come across, I mean, not anymore. I haven't been on Tinder a hot minute, but like the last time I was on there, like I remember that I had seen one girl specifically, and I remember she was like, I'm rated I think it went up to 5, and I think she was like, I'm rated a 4.8 on the Tinder scale. And like people took that to like a fucking serious. And I remember I was in the military when all this was going down, and it was for about a year. And it was, well, not even probably a year, but it was so intense, and like people tried so fucking hard. And I think that nowadays that has a lot to do with the way that people look at themselves. Like everybody wants to be liked. Everybody wants, you know, over 100 likes on all their photos. I see all these girls, like I was with the girl 2 weeks ago, and like we're fucking hanging out and shit like that. And like she would sit there for fucking 30 minutes, you know, just taking fucking photos of her doing random things, you know, drinking a fucking Mike's Hard Lemonade, she's outside and the sunset's just right, and she's taking 6-7 photos each single time and posting it. And it's like she's posting a new photo pretty much every 45 to an hour, like taking a new photo and like taking multiple photos. And I'm like, doesn't that fill up your phone really quickly? Like I have an iPhone 10 and I have like 64 gigs on it. And it just told me the other day that
I'm with you. No, I'm with you there. Like, what am I not doing properly? Because I can only take like 10,000 photos on my phone.
Back then it was a toughie to try to fill all that up back in the day. Or 16, I'm sorry. A 16 gigabyte iPod, I had tough times trying to fill that bitch up. Nowadays, 60 gigabytes doesn't give you dick. That gives you Facebook and maybe like, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcasts on there, and that's it. 16 gigabytes doesn't give you anything nowadays.
Right.
64 gigabytes, and people are still like, I'm running out of storage, and I've had my phone for a year. That's insane. That just goes to show you that I think social media has gone way too far. It fills up your phone with this nonsense crap. I can't go on Facebook for more than 10 minutes before my phone starts going so slow that I gotta like shut off Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that till the other day. I was like, why is my phone acting so slow? And I was like,
this is the other thing that's happening right now.
There's a shit ton of apps open.
This is fresh news as of this morning. There's a huge surge right now with phones.
Facebook, wait, there's a huge surge with picture tricking?
No, not with picture tricking. Just in apps in any sort of phones. Like if you were to go on Facebook today, there was a huge issue with nobody's photos was coming up.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram was another thing. Snapchat was another one.
Aren't they all under the same umbrella?
Something happened.
No,
they said that
Instagram and Facebook are.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're both connected under one. But they were having this huge issue where like nobody was coming up with all the content that was trying to be posted was taking too long. A lot of people's stories weren't coming up, blah blah blah. All these famous people were having this huge problem with trying to post anything. And there's some people, like for example Gary Vee, who posts like every 45 fucking minutes, literally on any social media. He's got Snapchat, Instagram, any social media that you could possibly have, Gary Vee is on. And he even had trouble fucking posting. So it just happened to be like today. I remember I was sitting there and we're on an airplane and everybody's supposed to have Wi-Fi. The only people who could get Wi-Fi on this airplane though were people who had, a computer or something like that. Nobody with the phone. And it was even announced on the airline that there was just, for whatever reason, you could not get on the Wi-Fi.
Sometimes if it's a shorter flight, 2-hour flight, yeah. Sometimes if it's a shorter flight, they will not turn on the Wi-Fi because they'll be going too low.
What they said though.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, I know. Every once in a while that happens. He got on the thing and he got on the intercom and he said to everybody, he goes, right now there's a shortage or for whatever reason, people with their iPhones and Androids are not going to be able to log into the Wi-Fi on this flight. But if you do have a tablet or a laptop, you will be able to log in. It was just weird. It was just phones. It was all day to day. Phones were having a major issue.
It's interesting because didn't they just approve that 5G stuff?
Right.
That 5G. I don't know if they did it everywhere yet, but
they've been trying to push 5G for the last year and a half, and all 5G was 4G.
Well, it's 5G.
Yeah, but now real 5G is coming out. Everyone's coming out with it. Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, they're all coming out with their own 5G networks, which are, again, the next generation. But there is some
next generation. Can I just make one single fucking phone call without like having it just drop for a second? Like that's all I want for Verizon to do, and I don't care where I go. I had better service with T-Mobile, I think, but for whatever reason, Florida has the worst service.
Can you hear me now? No, I can't.
Yeah. Fucking Sprint guy.
No, I really can't. Yeah, no, I'm a Sprint guy.
Are you really?
Yeah, no, I have Sprint. I've had Sprint for like 7 or 8 years.
I did have Sprint, but now I'm on the Verizon train again.
I'm on Verizon.
I just don't like their I just don't like their pretentious fucking stores.
Now that I'm back here.
So you want the new Razr? No, I'm here for the iPhone. Oh.
That was Singular that came out with the Razr. If you guys don't remember that, Singular and AT&T.
Yeah. Now AT&T.
They were the Razr guys. They were Motorola.
Yeah. Right.
So I ran up my parents' phone bill by ordering a bunch of 50-cent ringtones.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, so times as a kid.
You want to hear about a phone? You want to hear a funny phone bill story? So one time, and this was, dude, I was a kid. One time, me and a kid, like the quarterback from my little league team. That might be too specific. We were sitting in his basement or whatever, and we were calling the sex line that you would see at like 3:00 in the morning, and like using like you get a free hour because it's your first time calling. So we were like calling in from like different like phones, like this was like the first, iteration of like cell phones, and like he had like a sidekick, so we could call on the home phone and on the sidekick, and we could get like 2 hours for free of like the 3 a.m. internet like or commercial on Comedy Central, right? So he would we called in one morning. Anyways, we spent our 2 hours or whatever. We didn't really talk to anybody. It was like completely empty. There was like a couple of like actors on there or something like that, and we were like, yeah. Okay, we're not gonna do this. We were like 13 or something like that. And then finally, like 3 months later, his parents got his phone bill, and it was like $800.
Holy fuck.
Between the cell phone and the other thing, and it was like a big fucking deal.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
did they have to pay it?
Absolutely had to pay it. I had to pay every dime of it.
I remember I tried to.
They said allegedly he pressed 2, and if you press 2, like it signs you up for a membership, and will automatically charge your card. And it was like, if you would like to hear more, press 3. Then you could hear more information. But if you said like want a membership now, yes, it signed you up for some sort of like 2-year contract of like phone sex hotline.
I remember I was at a hotel, and I think we were in California. I think I was in Roseville, and I remember I was sleeping whatever, and I think I left the TV on. Woke up in the middle of the night, take a piss. I was probably like 12 years old, something like that. Girls Gone Wild came up.
Yeah.
Bongos.
I'm up. I got nothing but me and my pecker. And I'm sitting there, they're jumping on trampolines. I said, what are we doing here? We got a whole lot of, got all these girls sitting here. So I try to call them up. No bullshit. Because of the way that my voice sounded at that time, they didn't believe me. And like, they put me on to like someone real before they put me into like a subscription. And it was the funniest thing because I sat there and I was like, hello? Yep, this is John. And they were like, please.
Credit.
Like, sir? Kid?
Credit card number
like,
4?
I'm a grown ass man. You don't speak to me like that. So they're like,
hey, it's Fat Albert. I need to get on the bongo.
Fake voice for. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to like verify. They're trying to get my birth date, and I'm sitting there Googling like, how old should I be at this age? I got no fucking idea. I'm sitting there using a fake name. I don't even know what I called myself back then. Like I used a fake name, the whole 9. And they were just
AskJeeves.com.
Yeah, well, on Ask Jeeves back then, yeah.
Oh man, Ask Jeeves was the bomb.
They hated me because then they made me hang up. I called right back again, and it was like within 2 seconds, it was like they put in some sort of like blocker. They're like, this is a kid. Don't answer the phone for this kid. Because then I got on the second time and I went through the whole voicemail thing again. And it was like they sent me right back to another person. Like, you've been flagged, sir. And I was like, flagged? Flagged for
flagged? This is a travesty.
I'm not a 13-year-old boy. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'm here for the boobs.
I saw your commercial on the television.
I saw all the women with the boobs out. I was here for the boobs.
I just got home from work.
I'm a coal miner. I'm 84. Sir, what year were you born? I told you, I'm 84.
Sir, what year would that be? 93. I was born in 93. Sir, you're not even close.
1893.
Oh my God.
I'm good, man.
I promise I'm here for no ill intent. I promise you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So never called them again. Whatever happened to Girls Gone Wild? They just
That's a
the
weird
guy
question.
got sued.
Huh?
The guy got sued.
I think he just got out. I don't
Internet porn.
Yeah. Dude, Pornhub Premium is $10 a month.
Take your hand out of your pants, Doug, when you
Girls
talk
Gone.
to us. This guy's looking at porn.
Yeah.
I'm on porn right now.
Had an itch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This
So,
guy-
is that what they call it nowadays?
Yeah. No. What? Why? What? How did this all get fucking turned around on me? Okay.
What are you reading over there, Doug?
None. I was just looking at
Little
news
adult.
stuff, a lot of political stuff that we can't really get into.
The Playboy section.
The Playboy section.
I remember
I
my
was
dad.
reading some local shit.
I remember my dad. He found my Playboy, and I remember I had to bring it to school with me because like my dad would like go, or my mom and my dad would both go search my fucking room sometimes because I was just this crazy little kid. I remember I had like 2 Playboys in my backpack, and I remember I came home from school and I was trying to pull out my homework because I think my mom or my dad asked me to show them, and they had seen in my backpack kind of like a quick glimpse, and they're like, "The fuck is that? What's that gold lettering? What does that say, boy? What?" And then I said, no, it has nothing to look at. You know, it's just some project I'm working on.
It's a weekly reader.
Really?
It's a weekly reader.
Yeah.
They opened up my
parents used to have-
backpack. Got two Playboys. You know, a couple pages are a little sticky. You know what I'm talking about? But
Yeah.
trying to
We used to
uncrust-
have- at my dad's
they're trying
house,
to
you know how people
uncrust
used to
these
have
pages?
like magazines like by like the toilets? We used to
Yeah.
have Playboys by the toilets. Like
Oh,
that's just
man.
what my dad had. We used to have Playboys like almost by any toilet. It was like 2 or 3
Yeah.
Playboys.
Well, no, it was just like out there. It was like, okay, bottom drawer, got it. Like,
Yeah.
there's 45 of them in there. He's not counting them every day.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
take
instead
one
of-
or
No,
two.
there was a crate full of them. Like,
68.
Yeah.
they
Oh
had,
yeah.
They had
Great
like a
ball.
fucking membership.
Oh, yeah.
That was like
Are you
the monthly
kidding me?
membership of them.
There's a sign
Men
sign
back
out
then, they
sheet.
think we're pigs. At least we can delete our search history. You can't delete fucking 15,000
Oh
magazines.
shit!
Go to these garage sales sometimes. They're like, yeah, here's 400 books of Playboy. My dad, he died. Yeah. I don't know what to do with them. Burn them. They're gonna have green gas coming off of them. So
Yeah.
much fucking cum in those pages. Fuck out. The fucking mustard gas. Control burn that bitch. You know, fucking A.
Looks like a package of smoke bombs going off.
Oh, geez.
It burns like a Newport. Get the fuck out of here.
It's not 4th of July. Why is there green smoke out there?
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
So you're calling in the special forces.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of 4th of July, are you guys doing anything fun tomorrow?
No.
Yeah, I have actually. I'm going golfing, and
Yeah.
I have a fucking barbecue that I'm going to. There's gonna be ribs, Greek pasta salad. There's gonna be a cheese ball.
Oh,
there's gonna
man.
be mac and cheese.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
some
fucking cheese
supper problems.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be great.
Guys, he's buying a cheese ball. He's
White
gonna fucking
people
get one.
problems.
Yeah,
No,
right?
So actually, my wife's friend makes the cheese ball, and it's like cheddar cheese, and then like there's crackers, and then it's like the cheddar cheese is like mixed with like I think it's like strawberry jam, dude. It's fucking excellent.
Bro.
Be real.
And then she makes killer charcuterie boards. Like she slices the sausage so thin it's perfect. They have these Dijon at Trader Joe's that's just like a bunch of big balls. It's like a real ballsy Dijon. You put that on your charcuterie board.
All the patio furniture actually has cushions on it.
People think I'm joking. I'm being dead
Patio
serious.
cushions are fucking expensive, honestly. Like that's no joke.
I let my wife deal with that. Yeah, no. Have you ever been around like a lady or whatever, and then she leaves for a while, and then she comes back with a bunch of shit?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
My wife's fucking store is fucking Target, so I
That
go
happened
to that
today.
like all the
That
time.
happened today. That happened today while I was at dinner with my buddy.
Oh, he's your buddy now.
We'll see.
Oh, we'll see.
But yeah, I left. She went out with my daughter and then brought back a bunch of shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. All right, Johnny. We'll see you later, man.
Fuck
right.
you, Johnny. You fucking quitter.
Guys, keep it greasy on here, okay?
Fucking
Will do.
asshole.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Fuck
Bye-bye.
you, Johnny.
So there's a
Get the
fucking
fuck out,
tortilla
Johnny.
apocalypse.
Get the fuck out, Johnny. Get out.
So, John, are you doing anything tomorrow?
No, I don't have any family or friends, so
Oh, that's fucked up.
just out here by myself.
Are you gonna Tinder date it? Are you gonna Tinder date it tomorrow? Go watch some fireworks with somebody random?
No, I can't.
Do they
leave
have a big
Fiddlesticks.
fireworks show in New York?
They do. They have ton. I can't leave Fiddlesticks or he'll die of anxiety.
Oh, that's
Just give him,
close.
oh, you can't give him kratom. I'd say you just give him a little fucking,
He's so
like
bad.
a little edible.
Give him a
People
little
are like-
CBD.
People are lighting off bottle rockets, and he just will not leave me.
Oh, gotcha. For those of you who don't know, John has a really little Chihuahua-esque looking dog. 22-pound Chihuahua. Nobody understands why it's 22 pounds, but it's mixed with something. It's got
So,
a
you know,
Chihuahua.
in California, you can't, like, there's no fireworks.
That doesn't surprise me, Doug. You can't fart in California.
Without starting a fire.
Like, the only place you can set off fireworks, they set them out over the ocean.
So where are
can't
you going to
even-
watch fireworks?
You can't
Go to
even
the
you
beach.
can't even put a flashlight on, Doug. As soon as it's light outside, people stop working there.
Yeah, Doug, did you buy fireworks?
I can't.
Are you gonna be one of those dads? Are you gonna be one of those dads when you grow up who like saves up $500 just to go buy like a couple of really awesome fireworks just to set
If
up
I'm
on
in
the beach?
Arizona or
Across
Nevada,
the border.
hell yeah.
Yeah, not in California. What's the fine like in California?
It's a minimum $1,000 fine.
Oh,
Cody, were you there with Uncle Johnny when we were trying to go across the Indiana border to get fireworks? Were you around for that?
no.
I feel like you were there.
Because I have that big 4th of July celebration with my family up north every year. So I was never with you guys.
Could have swore you were around.
I think I might have hung out with you guys as he had gotten back.
Yeah, because I mean, he never went in July. He always went in like fucking September or like a couple months before or after to go get for next year.
Gotcha. Okay, maybe. I don't think I was there for it.
I think you were just hanging out with PJ when we got back.
Yeah. Why? What about it?
It was like smuggling in immigrants.
I did the same thing with my aunt 3 years ago, and we went across the border from Chicago to Indiana, and we got like $500 or $600 worth of fireworks. Just the three of us cousins.
Just shoving them under the seat.
Black trash bag.
Oh
we
yeah.
pulled over. We found like some yard trimmings or whatever. We pulled over, poured it all in. You know, I'm exaggerating, but honestly, we just threw them in the back and just fucking, drove the speed limit.
It's tricky.
Called it a day.
It's tricky stuff.
Yeah, when you're driving like that, like if you're doing the speed limit and like if you have like anything like illegal going on, as long as you're doing like the speed limit or anything, like nothing's gonna happen. Like people are always like so sketched out about that stuff, but
Well, the
It's
problem
always
is
when
they
you're-
see if it's around July and they see Illinois plates inside of Indiana,
They'll just pull you over.
they'll just pull you over just for the fuck of it.
Well, not even Illinois plates inside of Indiana. I didn't know that, but I thought Illinois plates crossing over from Indiana, like they'll just sit at the border and see who's coming back in.
Yep.
They'll
They'll watch
And
you
they'll-
go in and see how fast you come back out.
Yeah,
They're motherfuckers, man.
it's interesting.
Because Indiana doesn't care. It's the fucking Illinois cops that care.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They're
That's
bastards.
big bucks. That's big bucks for them. But yeah, no, I'm sad I'm missing the event this year, the festivities this year. We're just gonna go down to the parade here in town, I think, and I think find somewhere to watch fireworks tomorrow night. I don't know where that is or what that's gonna be, but I'm sure it's gonna be hot as balls, humid as shit, and we're gonna celebrate America properly. That's my goal anyway.
Always got to. You got to do everything American.
I used to have like the best like America like setup, and like I had like a nice sport coat and everything like that, and I lost it somewhere.
Is it a blue jacket with tan pants?
No, it's an American flag jacket.
The American flag jacket. It's
She looked like Apollo Creed before he died.
Well, no, and it's made with like outdoor fabric, so it's like it's awesome to wear like outdoors on those days, on Memorial Day or Labor Day or 4th of July,
Veterans Day, Abe Lincoln's birthday,
Martin Luther King Day.
Wow. I mean,
yeah. Thanksgiving. Oh. Yeah, too soon. But so I had each of you guys watch this. We talked about Bob Lazar a couple of weeks ago. But I had each of you guys watch this second documentary called Unacknowledged. And Unacknowledged is basically just a documentary about this guy named Dr. Stephen Greer. He set up a thing called the Disclosure Project, and it just shed light on deep state politics, shadow governments, and the ET phenomenon. It's on Netflix right now, and it's a pretty good follow-up to the whole Bob Lazar, Area 51, and Flying Saucers documentary, because it kind of dives into the exact same stuff, but it does tell not a completely different story, but a slightly different story, or a story that might corroborate some of what Bob Lazar was saying. So, Doug, John, what'd you guys think?
Dr. Greer's a liar.
Dr. Greer's a liar?
They're all liars.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fake news that's put out there for sure. And it's kind of hard to believe what is what, honestly. And I think that's part of the government's plan, is to put out all these different things and to kind of claim that like it's happened, but like not how you guys wanted to think it's happened. It's going to happen on our terms, how we believe that it's going to happen, and how we want you guys to foresee it. And one of the big things that I remember from watching it was that they're all worried that the public eye is going to panic as soon as they're like, oh, there's this, this other, extraterrestrial that we've come in contact to, like that's just gonna blow people's minds, and it's gonna send the whole world into a big wide panic. And they were talking about how there needs, like, in order for us to get this technology away from the government, that there basically needs to be like a revolution, which would be kind of cool, but how are we gonna get so many people behind that?
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. Honestly, like, I think one of the cool... I see what you're saying, Doug. You're really not going to get this technology away from the government. It's going to be slowly introduced, just like everything else has been slowly introduced over the years, and eventually it'll be, oh, it's a breakthrough in this or that. Pay us another X amount of dollars for it, and it's all going to drive off of this, again, military-industrial complex. So,
Well, they were talking about phones were like a huge thing. Like, remember, like we had corded phones for a little while, but then all of a sudden now we have these smartphones, and now we had wireless phones. Like, there was just there was a small gap in time where that changed.
We had corded phones for a long time.
But like the new aged ones and everything, if you look at it, it's really not that big of a time frame. I guess it is.
Well, it's about 40 years.
That's an example. That's the example that they
gave. 30, 40 years. I get it. I also think that, I don't know. I think the powers that be will milk this planet for everything that it's worth, fossil fuel wise, and then they'll introduce some sort of free energy system when all that's dried up.
You think once all that's gone, they're gonna be like, shit, well now we need to, take advantage of this free energy or this, and like make it worth more than it actually is.
Yeah.
What if the technology?
That's exactly what they're gonna do. I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that for 1 second. Because I think this is why this goes into a ton of other conspiracy theories that date back to like Nikola Tesla and the stuff that he was doing for free energy systems that, were potentially more efficient than what we currently use. So
did you hear one thing that they said in that documentary that kind of intrigued me from something that we talked about before, was that there's already a base on the moon that we didn't build. Like there's already buildings and everything on the backside of the moon.
That's some ancient alien stuff, and that again that brings me back to the conversation that we had last week. I wish we would have posted something or snippets from that, but we talked for a long time about why haven't we been back to the moon? Why haven't we been back to the moon? And that kind of theory has been postulated all over the internet for a long time. They're not the first ones to say that. They're not going to be the last ones to say that. But again, it would go to say, to some reason, that's probably why we haven't been back, because someone's already there.
Someone or something.
Some being. I don't want to classify anything. I don't want to put labels on persons, terrestrial or extraterrestrial. But
it brought a lot of light to that Bob Lazar situation. It kind of made me more skeptical of that thing because of the way that they were describing the vehicles, and some of the things that they said were like, it just, all of that, like what I said last week, was like just the whole spaceship part of it was kind of just like iffy to me. Like, how is it this same thing getting put out? Like, it just seems like they're being fed what to say. Like, oh, it's this little flying saucer, and there were 3 or 4 people in it. It just always seems like it's the same story that gets put out by everybody. Like, it's being fed to them. Like, oh, here, read this. This is what you're gonna say.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like direct, whether it's government manipulation or,
It's like it's being hidden in plain sight. The more that he thinks he's serious and he's explaining this in a bullshit way, that it just makes it easier for the skeptics to say, oh, he's fucking crazy, see?
So you guys watched it right up until he started crying, right? And then you guys had to turn it off?
No, I watched it all the way through.
Okay, because when he started crying, I was like, all right, man. Like, we get it. It means a lot to you, but,
He wasn't crying about that. Wasn't he crying about something else, though?
He was crying about the fact that he had to go and brief the president of the United States and the director of the CIA because they said they were being lied to. So he had to go brief them on everything that he knew, and he said from that conversation, he believed that the director of CIA knew something, and he was just more trying to figure out see what he knew, and that part was one of the parts that I was like, okay, it's just a funny coincidence. It's a funny, and I understand that he wants this theory to be correct, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I think he's given every argument for, I don't remember what his arguments against were, where I think Bob Lazar still had a fair amount of like, hey, I don't really know what I saw. I don't really know what, I saw through that window, or, I don't want to postulate things that I don't know, or I don't want to, guess on things that I don't know 100%, or things that I didn't work on. Bob Lazar is not talking about, where the Stephen Greer guy is talking about, all of it and the entire enormity of the ET phenomenon, as he put it.
He brings
Maybe it's
a lot
not bullshit,
of,
though.
I don't think it's bullshit, because he brings a lot of backing to it, a lot of powerful figures, and that was the kind of thing that kind of swung me.
There was a lot of big names.
A lot of, not even big names, like presidents. Like, it was a wide variety of people too. Like, Air Force, Navy, Army, Air Force, presidents, CIA directors.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, the
citizen air.
French.
Yeah, FAA directors or whatever. The flight police. What are they called?
Yeah, the FAA.
FAA. Yeah, those
So
guys.
that's the kind of thing that I was like, well, like he has a lot of people backing his story. When the Bob Lazar thing was kind of just, it was kind of just Bob Lazar. Like they had like singled him out and put him on an island, and it was like just him. Whereas like he had all this documented proof
I
of
think
things that were said from the government.
I think Bob Lazar's story was is a very small part of the story that Stephen Greer was telling.
Maybe they're too stupid. Maybe everybody's too stupid because when I first watched it, I said, yeah, this is fucking legit. Joe Rogan had him on. He's legit. And then as I started thinking about it that one day with Cody, I was like, if it got to mainstream, obviously it's an inside job of them trying to spread propaganda because nothing's going to get fucking mainstream without the government knowing about it. But then I'm sitting here thinking right now, Bush was tied to 9/11 with the oil and everything, and that's why we wanted to start a war. Then you got Joe Biden who's touching little kids on camera. No one's saying a goddamn thing. Maybe the government's so fucking stupid that they let it get to Netflix and go mainstream.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
There's fucking stupid
know,
people in Congress, dude.
okay,
If you think about it, there's a lot of fucking morons up there that aren't doing anything right, and maybe they fucking let it slip. These guys might have let it slip. It's the American way. We let shit slip all the time.
But there's also that misinformation campaign that gets put out. So they're like, well, you know, they have all of this, but this is kind of a lot of misinformation with this. So we're going to let this slide and let people believe this and keep the rumor alive. But, you know, we're still going to control the narrative. Like, yes, they're putting out these documentaries, like letting people think some new things and try and get more evidence to it. But then, you know, nobody's going to, no, seeing is believing. Believing isn't always seeing. So you gotta fucking see it, and that's kind of what they're like banking on with that. And then your point about mainstream media, they said in that documentary that they had like documented proof that the government has, or the CIA has an agent in on every news media platform. Every mainstream, they have rats. They said they had 42 full-time CIA employees that were infiltrated into the mainstream media.
What
and
about
I completely
Rogan?
agree with that.
No one's in on Rogan. There's no way.
No, but Rogan's riding the wave.
Oh,
He's getting the clout.
Rogan's mainstream as anybody. Any news station.
Yeah, but he's getting the clout. He's riding the wave. It's something new that came out. He's going to be the first one that gets on it and tries to get people to talk about it.
That thing came out. That thing was being published and talked about in 2017. He just now got to it.
The Bob Lazar one? The Bob Lazar one's
Yeah.
new.
No. If you think about it, that
fucking
goes back
Joe
years.
Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan interviewed Dr. Stephen Greer like episode 700 something.
That's what I'm saying. If Joe Rogan got to it, that's the only thing that's what I'm believing everything on is fucking Rogan being a real true person to himself and not being part of it all. That's the only thing.
I feel like
Don't
he rides
start
clout
spreading
there
that
too.
rumor. I like Joe Rogan too much.
I love him too, but all that bullshit that happened with Jack Dorsey and Twitter and how he got all that bad feedback right away like that.
He got all that bad feedback. Yeah,
and then
no,
he
but
fixed
he
it.
went,
But then he fixed
went right
it.
back.
Absolutely.
But you are absolutely right because there's a couple of videos that I watched because I did exactly what he told me to. He types in whatever the subject is, and then he types in spoof or fake or fraud or something like that. And he reads all of that information as well. That's his research strategy. Read everything pro and read everything con and form your own opinion about it. So I did that with the whole Bob Lazar thing, and I found a lot of people breaking down his podcast and tearing him to shreds about like, you're just eating this up hook, line, and sinker.
Oh,
so, you know, maybe this is one of the ones that he might need to go back and redo, or, you know, I don't think I'll ever have Bob Lazar back on, but
no, you can't. That guy's like
maybe
destroyed.
maybe the filmmaker, you know, have the filmmaker back on. What's his name? Something Corbel.
And what's that dude's name? George whatever?
George Knapp. Yeah,
George Knapp. He doesn't seem like, he looks like Kent Brockman off of the fucking Simpsons. I wouldn't trust that guy as far as I could throw him.
I think Joe Rogan needs to have him on and just give him both sides of it, because he's an investigative journalist as well. So I think you have those two guys back on and tear apart the other side of this thing, because there are some inconsistencies.
Or we should just call George Knapp and have him on our show.
Let's do it.
George.
Let's do it.
He'll eat it up.
Y'all better take notes. I'll start talking about Zeta Reticuli. John would be like, hold on.
So what do you know about fucking reptile people?
What do you know? How do you feel about this one?
Do you think there's a sorcerer's stone? Yes or no?
It's actually a philosopher's stone if you read the books, asshole.
Oh, no, I didn't read the book. Sorry.
Yeah. I too just saw the movies. Hey guys, so we are inching closer to football season. A little bit off the cuff for you.
Oh.
I mean, who's excited? I mean, we got camp opening up. We got camp opening up in like 2 weeks.
Browns Nation, baby.
I've been getting my theme, my itch. Oh, shut up! God.
How can you not be excited about the Cleveland Browns?
Please pick a region and
how
own
can
the
you
teams that are
not
in
be
that
excited
region.
about the Cleveland Browns?
Bro,
I'm not saying I'm not excited about them, but like you're like go Browns, like
fuck yeah, I'm go Browns. A nice young quarterback. You gotta love that. That's hard dedication over there, man.
You know for a fact you didn't like Baker Mayfield 4 years ago. Now he's your best friend.
Yeah.
How can you not be happy about the Browns? That's spreading wealth. That's making the league better. That's making teams better. That's not one more team where you say, oh, guess what? Carolina's playing the Browns this week. We might as well not even fucking watch. It's more meaningful.
Yeah, now it's the fucking Giants.
Are better. Giants too. Everyone's getting better. It's a great thing
Giants
for the NFL.
Suck.
The Giants are terrible.
Hey, listen here. Listen here, motherfuckers. Listen here. I don't got a region. I play for the spread. You understand me?
Okay.
You understand me?
All right.
Plus minus, bitch. That's all that matters.
That's it.
That's it. Anything else, you can forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fantasy football fan as well. So I don't know if that's
crazy,
plus
though.
Minus.
Isn't that crazy how they turn around that franchise like that on a dime?
I guess that's just PPR. Yeah, it goes to show
it wasn't
you.
On a dime though. They went from 0-6. Well, they kind of did, but it went from 0-16.
They were.
It
was a dime.
7-8-1.
Stop.
It was on a dime. You know how hard it is to win in the National Football League, man.
And to turn all of that young talent around and mortgage it from more young talent.
That's what I'm saying.
He did a great job. John Dorsey is a wizard with teams.
He's a wizard, man.
Freaking awesome.
Look what he did with the Chiefs. And then now he's doing it with the Browns.
Yeah.
This is it, man.
Him, and you know who I like? The guy from Indy, Ballard.
Oh yeah, Chris Ballard.
Chris Ballard,
what he's done. Genius too.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He went from having the worst defense in the league to one of the best.
Yeah, I forgot about the Colts, man. You got Andrew Luck, Melvin Mack. That's is it Melvin Mack?
Marlon Mack. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think honestly San Diego's going to be my dark horse to win the Super Bowl this year.
You mean Los Angeles?
Sorry. The Chargers.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to be my dark horse. If they can stay healthy, they got the defense and they got the weapons.
See, I feel like the Chargers are just like the Bengals.
I'm going to stay with
never
the
going to work.
Team.
Yeah, right.
Go with my Cowboys. My Cowboys got a defense. They got an offense. They got special teams.
Okay.
Oh boy,
they can do it all.
Here we go.
We
drafted Mike Weber. We drafted Mike Weber
in the 6th round.
I'm just joking.
Okay, we drafted Tony Pollard. He's
a
fucking animal.
Tony Pollard's gonna steal Zeke's job.
You know, Doug. At least you got to see Tony Romo in the Super Bowl.
If you look at the Cowboys roster, they're going to win the NFC East. We're going to beat the fucking Eagles. And they're pushing for a lot of shit. We have a defense. We have an offense.
I don't know that you guys beating the Eagles is a set in stone thing. I think Carson Wentz comes out, has another MVP season.
Oh, yeah. He's got to get over his back
They
problems
still
and
have.
his injury history. He's a fraud. He's a
Who else is
fraud.
in that division? Who are the
The
four teams in
Redskins
that
and the
division?
Giants.
Okay, so Redskins aren't going anywhere.
The
No.
Giants are going to be the last in the league.
The
if
Giants
not the fucking Miami
might.
Dolphins.
Giants might surprise you.
No, they're not going to surprise fucking anybody.
I don't know if that's true.
The
Yeah,
Eagles
the
are good.
Giants
Yes,
are
the
always-
Eagles are always good, but
The Giants
Cowboys
have
just
been.
have their number.
The Giants have been scrappy in the past, but I feel like the last 2 years they've just kind of like laid down, knowing that it's not their year, or whatever it may be.
It's
You
Eli
know.
Manning's on his last fucking leg. He's on thin ice, and they showed that by drafting Daniel Jones number 6 overall.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to be calling for Jones by the end of the third quarter.
I tell you what, though,
In
the
game
Giants,
Week
Giants got the easiest schedule this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. It'll be a nice schedule to break in a rookie the back half.
Yep, and they're
So
just
you
gonna
go,
fucking
you go.
lose.
Giants schedule is Cowboys, Bills, Bucks, Redskins, Vikings, Patriots, Cardinals, Lions, Cowboys, Jets, Bears, Packers, Eagles, Dolphins, Redskins, Eagles.
So there's only 3 easy games on that fucking season.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
There's 3 easy
Nuts.
games.
You got
Dude, I
the
don't care what you
Redskins
say.
twice.
Division
Dolphins.
games are always a fucking toss up, dude. No matter
No, they're
what.
not.
How
Look
are
at
they
last
not?
year.
They
How
haven't.
are
Look at
they
last
not?
year.
Unless you're a
fucking,
Patriots
the Giants
guy.
have been rolling over. The Lions or the
I don't wanna
Giants
hear
have been
about last
rolling
year.
over. They didn't get better. They got worse.
How'd they get worse? OBJ is a cancer.
Oh, shut your
Oh,
fucking
you were the
mouth.
one just talking about go Browns.
Yeah, dude.
You
Give
gotta
me a
keep-
fucking break.
You
gotta
can't
keep your
put you
takes
can't
straight.
you can't have OBJ in fucking New York City. It's a media frenzy and they eat that shit up. Now he's in Cleveland in the middle of fucking nowhere. He ain't gonna make a peep. Watch it
What are you
happen.
talking about? He's been
You can't
talking
have a
more.
loudmouth in New York City. You
No,
can't
no.
have that.
He's gonna talk more, but we've heard about it less.
I don't think so. I think he goes to it. The Browns are looking to be a contender,
No, the
playoff
fucking
contender
the
right
Giants.
away. He ain't
The
gonna say
Giants,
nothing.
New York just looks for the evil and looks for the bad guy and then looks for the good guy. So they made Odell out to be the bad guy when he wasn't. Because when they had other reports come out from the fucking locker room saying that they loved fucking Odell, so he wasn't a fucking cancer.
I
He
think
didn't
it's
make it
a,
about
I
him.
think
He
it's a
wasn't
Des
AB.
it's a Des Bryant situation. He's just misunderstood.
Maybe. I don't know. I was
just
here
a
towards the
loudmouth
end of the
cancer.
year, and talk radio had him fucking out to be the bad guy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Who's the big fucking New York sports talk show host
Oh,
that everybody
it's,
talks about? That
Mike
says that he has-
Francesa.
Yeah, and he has influences on the Giants. Like, that's annoying that the media can have influences on your fucking football team. You're supposed to control that. I mean, Dallas is a pretty big fucking source, and they don't control any medias. They don't control any fucking decision making that they do.
Yeah, you go in there and you try and talk to Jerry Jones about what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Jerry Jones, though. He's known to be a hard head.
Yeah.
That should not make a difference. Then you should have a hard head that owns the fucking Giants.
No
make a
no
fucking
New York
excuse.
team has a hard head. They're all fucking pushovers.
They are. They have been. That's
Every
what
single
happens
one.
when you hire a new GM every 3 years and a new head coach every 2.
Yeah,
You
there's
get
no
stuck in this cycle of like, oh, we have great young players, but nothing to really tie it together, and then those players end up leaving after, 2, 3, 4 years, and doing better elsewhere, We'll see. We'll see what happens.
And
It'll
it's
be an
mostly
interesting
just on
year.
the Jets too, or the Giants. Sorry, the Jets don't get a lot of clout like that. Like, I figure
I
like
think
Robbie
the Jets get
Anderson
a
and
fair
Chris,
amount of.
but
They get a
Robbie Anderson and Chris Herndon, I feel like for their little past fucking mix-ups these last 2 years, I feel like they should have gotten more, feedback from that rather than OBJ fucking being on the sideline saying some shit, and then the big story is him proposing to the kicking net.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But it's Cowboys all day. How about them Cowboys? Let's go.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
I don't
I
trust
think,
Dak.
yeah, I don't trust Dak either. The
Trust
defense
me.
is
You
there.
either
The
love the
defense
Cowboys
is
or you hate the
there.
Cowboys. So
The defense is there. The O line should be better.
it is.
Connor
We got
Connor
Travis Frederick back.
Williams.
Connor
Frederick's
Williams isn't even
back.
going to start.
He's not even gonna start.
No, he's going to be one of those rotating guards.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I thought he was this huge guy, and then I went to go see training camp last year, and like he was right next to Tyrone Smith, and I understand Tyrone Smith is like this massive dude. But
you know how massive Tyrone Smith is? He fucking wears a knee brace for his elbow.
yeah.
That's how fucking big this guy is.
Connor Williams is like, I don't know if he's 6'5" or 6'8". He's a big, tall, like lanky, used to be a tackle. Well, he bumps into guard apparently for the Cowboys, and he's next to Tyrone Smith in training camp, and it was like looking at like a full-grown adult and like a high school kid.
Well, look at Lyle Collins. Lyle Collins was like a huge prospect coming out of LSU. Would have been a top 5 pick if he didn't go through he was getting questioned about his ex girl's fucking murder or some shit like that. So he went to the fucking, what is it called, the compensatory draft or something like that, and then he actually signed with the Cowboys. And he's a guard, he's not a tackle, but he's fucking huge too. He was a huge tackle coming out of fucking LSU.
Yeah, man. See, I feel like that's the way you build good NFL teams. You just keep drafting these big fucking tackles, and then you end up having an offensive line that looks like Wisconsin's, and you can run the ball whenever you want to. And that's what you do. You know what I mean? Why even bother with a guard or a center? If this guy's a tackle, he was probably the best offensive lineman on his team and probably played center at some point in time. If not, you can teach him.
That's what I was gonna say. Centers are usually kind of a different breed. Centers are usually the smartest offensive linemen, and they can do a lot more. I mean, Travis Frederick was the center for Wisconsin, and we took him at the back end of the first round. So, there's a lot of good fucking centers out there. Like this guy coming out of NC State that went to Minnesota, Garrett Bradbury or something like that. He's supposed to be really fucking smart and really good. So we'll see how it all goes.
There's a kid at Oklahoma. I think he was a true freshman last year who's supposed to be like a hog molly. I'm excited to watch him this year.
That Cowboys defense isn't a top 5 defense though, is it?
It was last year.
I think it's going to be again this year. They have good D linemen. Your boy got paid. DeMarcus Lawrence got paid. Mm-hmm. So
we just took another D tackle in the draft from Central Florida. I think his name is Tyson something or something like that.
Hey, is Sean Lee didn't retire, so you got all 3 linebackers.
No, but he took a pay cut.
Yeah, so he's gonna be more player coach. I get it. He's still gonna be on the field, but he's gonna be more player coach.
We got the Wolf and fucking Vander Esch, and we got Jalen Smith, who, if you remember, was supposed to be like a top 5 pick before he destroyed his knee out of Notre Dame, and then we got him at the fucking beginning of the second round, the same draft as fucking Zeke.
And you guys did it right. And I hate to jump on the bandwagon here, but you did it right. You just waited. You know what I mean? Why try to force this guy back after 9 games? Because we know it's not going to be ready. Send him on vacation to Germany. Tell him to go see Dr. So-and-so. Get some injections in your knee. Come on back. Rehab for a year. I mean,
we got Byron Jones, who's one of the best fucking man-on-man corners.
Best young corners in the game, for sure. Who's on the other side there?
Chidobe Awuzie out of fucking Colorado.
Yeah, Chidobe Awuzie. You remember playing with him in the NCAA game?
Yeah.
We had him playing both ways. Offense and defense.
We got a squad, man. And then, I mean, on offense, Amari Cooper and Dak were like a top 5 option the last 7 weeks.
I got a hot fantasy take for you. I think that Amari Cooper will lead the league in efficiency.
Yeah.
He'll have the highest target percentage or target ratio of any wide receiver in the league. Because
I don't
quite
think that's a
honestly,
hot take. I
with
think
Cole
that a lot of
Beasley,
people are saying
with
that.
Cole Beasley being gone, and who else are they breaking in at wide receiver? Gallup and
Michael Gallup's going to be huge this year,
and
and then we
Randall
also
Cobb.
Randall Cobb, and then Jason Witten's coming back to help Blake Jarwin get more accustomed to it. Dude, you got a squad, man.
They got your Cowboys ranked 8th.
Yeah. Well, there's always
Yeah.
going to be Cowboy haters.
No. Shut the fuck up.
Where they have the
Bears,
Eagles
John?
like at 5, don't you? Don't they?
John, where they got the Bears?
Number 1.
Do they really?
They're
No,
gonna
the
be
Patriots.
number 1. Are you
they're
crazy?
not.
No, seriously, they are number 1.
Who?
Who are you looking
Bears.
at? What's the
The Bears
source?
are not
That
number
was
one.
that was Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report's got the Bears as the number one
Dude,
team.
they're fucking stacked. Their defense is so stacked.
Yeah.
Their
That'll
defense
be
is stacked, but their offense is kind of questionable.
I would say
I
that.
don't think so. I think this David Montgomery kid's getting rave reviews.
This
Yeah.
is going to be it, though.
This
This is Mitch's year. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, this is make it or break it.
This is it. You don't make it past this, Mitch.
As I say all the time, you got to poop or get off the potty, honey.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is it.
You got to look at their wide receivers though too. I mean, they got fucking Allen Robinson and
Cordell Patterson.
No.
Yes.
Who's the other one?
Gabriel.
Anthony Miller.
Williams.
Anthony Miller and
Javon
Allen
Wims
Robinson are going to be the 1 and the 2.
Javon Wims can be the new Cam Meredith. There, I said it.
Well, go pick him up then, okay, guy.
Trey Burton. Trey Burton's a nice little addition.
No, man, because I've been drafting him in fantasy football, and I have not been happy with it.
I'm not.
He was
confident
hurt
in
all
his
last
abilities.
year. He was hurt all last year.
I'm not
Yeah,
confident in his abilities at all.
yeah.
It's a big spot for the Bears. You always want it. Their tight ends are always. They're gonna go. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing.
I think if Mitch takes what the offense gives him, I think they'll be fine. And I think that they will make it far, and their defense will win them games. And sometimes Mitch will look like crap, but
I mean, they got a new kicker, so maybe they'll make fucking field goals.
There you go.
And honestly, too, I think they have a young, hungry running back.
Yeah, Cohen takes over and not splitting time.
Yeah,
Cohen's
Matt
not going to
anymore.
take over. They've already come out and said Cohen's role isn't going to change. It's
Yeah.
going to be David Montgomery's,
No.
backfield
they're
to
gonna
take
do-
charge of.
I
They're
don't believe
saying
that at all.
that they're moving Cohen all around the field
Yeah,
this year.
there's no-
Yeah, but he's
He's
not
a-
going to be
No,
their starting
it-
running back. That's what I'm saying.
No, absolutely not. But they're going to use him like they use Tyreek Hill, where he's going to get 12 touches a game, and
yeah, but
gonna
Tariq
be for
Cohen's not
junk
really
plays.
a wide receiver type.
all right,
He's not.
all right. What is he? He's a between the tackles runner. He's an outside zone.
No,
he's an
but he's
outside
more of
zone
the
guy.
swing pass.
He's
he's
an
more of the
outside zone
swing-
guy.
Yeah, he is. He's more of the swing pass type of guy
Yeah,
too. And the fucking,
Pass,
I'll
pass,
take a screen pass to the house
and
for
the
60.
fast little guy up the sideline. That's a play.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
he's
play.
not going to run 60 yards down the field and catch the ball.
I think he did. Sure.
They actually, you're right. They have the Eagles. Eagles are ranked ahead of the Cowboys on ESPN for next year.
What's the top 5 there, John?
So you got this is just by projected wins, not a win-loss. So they got the Chiefs at projected wins is 10. Saints is 10. Rams is 10. Patriots is 10. Colts is 9 at number 5. Chargers is number 6 at 8 wins. Bears 7th with 9 wins. Texans number 8 with 8 wins. Falcons
They gotta
number
figure out their
9 with
defense.
8 wins. Eagles at number 10 with 9 wins. And you don't see your dem boys. Dem boys are ranked the 19th best team going into next year
By ESPN.
by ESPN.
I don't trust their stuff either.
With a 44% chance of making the playoffs.
Whatever.
They got the Jaguars above the Cowboys.
Okay. My
Jags.
point is proven.
Jags,
Yeah,
Ravens, and Browns.
I don't know if I agree with that. So, yeah, so that's football talk for this week. All in all, pretty excited. I think the Bears are going to do well this year. It's a Bears show. Yeah, I remember that.
I'm gonna go get my New England Patriots.
This is a bear
t-shirt.
show. You better not call this a bear show.
This is a bear show.
This is a bear show.
fucking bear show.
This is a bear show. Until
It's
further notice.
all we care about are the Bears and the spread. That's it.
Polish
That's it.
sausage.
Polish sausage and points.
Put sausage in points. Can I get a side of points, please? Speaking of points, John, you got any whammies this week?
I hate doing whammies. You know, it's a downtime right now. Let me see if anything catches my eye for a nice 4th of July special here. We got some big games going on tomorrow.
I think Christian Yelich is gonna fucking win the home run derby.
Oh, really?
I'll take him as the number 1 seed.
So I am going to take the Cubs
Minus
to
1.5.
Yep, to beat
I
the
like
Pirates. To beat
Yep.
the Pirates tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm
Jose
also gonna
Quintana.
jump forward to Saturday and Sunday. Cubs White Sox. I'm gonna call for the sweep.
North side sweep there, Bob.
North side sweep there, Bob. This weekend.
When
Put
you're
it-
right, you're right.
Put it on the board.
I'm gonna-
As they
Our
say.
whammies have been more like double whammies and fucking not hitting.
I think my whammies have all hit. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, that's a great sales tactic there, Doug. Why don't you start keeping track, and then maybe you can comment on our accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you do
All
that?
right. With that, guys, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Outspoken Junts,
And on YouTube.
and on YouTube.
Give
Subscribe.
us a subscribe, give us a like, check out our stuff.
And
Let us know
don't
what you guys think.
forget tomorrow it's gonna be hot. Make sure you fucking powder your balls before you go out there. You don't want to be walking past people, getting off of blankets. Your ass just smells like fucking rotten hot dogs and garlic salt. Okay?
Yeah. If you're gonna be anywhere, humid, don't wear khakis. Tomorrow's a
Don't.
bad day for khakis.
No
All right,
one
you gotta
wants
wear
to see your
khakis.
ass.
Your ass is gonna be sweating through your khakis by 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be called assies towards the end of the day.
Happy 4th, happy Independence Day.
It's
See you
gonna be
guys.
like slapping together like 2 honey baked hams.
That was a good ending. I like that.